what you're supposed to do is make your transcode and your update jammer, and then pay your 500 to attack, flip my bubonic vermin, allow me to get 2 more from the deck.
Oh, so I was supposed to stop at transcode. I gotcha.
Yes. And then you would have killed them all. Okay. And you would have taken 1,500 for your attacks. All of my stuff would have died.
Okay.
I throw those into the grave here so I can see what I get off my draw. That's not really gonna help.
It's 60 cards.
But you would have lived. So what were the other cards?
Set that, and then you do your turn and activate that. So you take 300, or leave it face down and hope you destroy it.
Let me
So
get this
you
straight.
take 1,000.
So I was supposed to stop at Transcode Talker, and then on top of this, I was supposed to not activate this as if I wouldn't have a Sunlight Wolf that was not.
Right.
All right. The important question is, what's the monster?
God damn it!
Yeah.
It's a Nembamunga.
And what's the next draw? Ceasefire this game, right?
Bro, am I really about to come up to Die Hard and play some Salamangreat?
It wouldn't be the first time that you did.
I really shouldn't, but I might. This deck's kind of lit. I'm so upset. That looks like you weren't supposed to access code. You were supposed to transcode update jammer. My fault. I'll gentleman this time.
Right. Well, anyways, that's a 60 card version of a 40 card deck that I played a long time ago.
He said it was a 60 card version of a 40 card deck I played a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I couldn't remember which cards were actually in there.
I get it.
So
You added the extra 20 cards for consistency. I got you.
Yeah, because there are certain cards that you don't want to draw, and so this lowers your chance of drawing them.
Well, while we're waiting on that, let's see who's playing right now. Okay, so we got Heroes versus Tri-Brigade, it looks like. There's no zoo cards, so I think it might just be Tri-Brigade.
You want to switch chat show or what?
Yeah, we can switch chat. Well, hold on. Apparently I don't have your chat selected. There we go.
Alright, so, I mean, I titled it something super generic. I didn't really see...
Title is something super generic. That's fine.
I didn't really see something in the suggestions that stood out. Like, the one that was, like, interesting, but I don't think it really fits this week, is just, like, starting in Yu-Gi-Oh! But we covered that a little bit at some point.
I see it.
What was the duelist from mainly?
They've been hilarious. Oh, Aaron didn't pop in. Weird.
Yeah, that's alright. He's around. Could just be a pretty open discussion, feelings on the game, what we're excited about. Well, obviously touch on the list, and we got reprint season coming up.
I'm literally gonna bitch about how Colossus didn't come back. I hope you're ready for that.
Hey, that's fine. Oh, I gotta move my mic. Let's see.
Apparently, Doug said he was having a hard time hearing me there for a second, so that should help.
The Douglas French is in the stream.
The Douglas French, who just got destroyed 8 games in a row, and then dips.
He's in the stream.
Hell yeah, he is. I don't know. I think but
Yeah, I think that's a given. But I don't think Drytron can be so overpowering because it loses to so many things.
One Engage really scares me because that just makes Shark Cannon such a prevalent threat to your deck. Bro, I can't believe one Engage might literally make that deck a tier 1 deck, and it scares me. But you also have, like, I forget, you guys still have 3 Kagari sometimes, and then you have 3 Widow Anchor, so...
Yeah, the grind on that deck is pretty good. And with Engage, like, I still don't know if it's optimal, but it lets you play Hercules base a lot easier. So you can actually get some recycle in. But
John, Cody Angeloff said Hercules base is training wheels for Sky Striker players.
Yeah, well, when you have a card that searches any card in your deck, it's worth considering.
Look, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not giving you shit, but you know.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I haven't played Hercules base in a while, but I'm definitely going to think about playing it at the very least.
I think you're better off playing Pot. If you're considering Hercules base, you might be better off just playing Pot of Avarice, but I don't know.
Yeah, we can't search it. I mean, that's like playing Hercules base now. It's like
you can't search it, but it does give you longer longevity. I don't know. I just want to put a bunch of ace monsters back and draw 2 cards for free.
Oh yeah, put fucking 5 extra deck monsters back in the deck.
It's like, yeah, let me put like
seems
5
pretty good.
It's like, let me put all my Kagaris back and some other cards, and then let me draw 2.
You know, I love the idea of Avarice, but I don't know. It's the same reason why no one's playing it since it came back.
Is your Sky Striker list that you're playing with Engage, does it play Halka Fibrax or no?
No, I don't. I don't feel like the 2 extra deck spots are worth it.
Alright.
Because you're already playing. If you're playing less than 11 SS monsters, I think you're wrong.
11?
3 red, 3 blue, 3 green, 1 brown, 1 black.
Oh right, 1 yellow and 1 Zeke.
Yeah. So you're already, and like you got to play. I really like Ningirsu as a card. You got to play a generic Link too, and then you have 2 slots left. So access code most likely, but you know what I really missed this weekend was Boral Sword. Like I missed it a lot.
Making a Boral Sword and killing your opponent.
Yeah, because there's a couple games like. There's one game I lost because I didn't have it because I just couldn't get the damage. And access code was nice, but it never like when I could make it, I was already just dominating the game.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes when I play the cards. I'm like, if I just make Boral Sword, like my opponent dies, but like, I don't know.
All right, so I'm gonna hit the record button. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I haven't done this intro in a while. So
3 weeks.
It's only been 3 weeks. Really?
Pretty sure it's only been 3 weeks.
No, man, I'm good. I don't want a remote duel. My camera attachment that I would use for that actually broke, or my tripod attachment. So
it's all right. I bought I have to show you, what is it? I have to send you the link for the arm I have for mine. It's actually really nice, and it costs like less than $15.
I have the overhead arm, but you know the part you screw into the bottom of the arm to like hook it up to a tripod. Yeah. That piece broke. Yeah,
when I bought mine, I had to buy a new fucking piece because I broke it because I didn't know how it worked. I was so pissed.
All right, I'm about to hit record.
Go for it.
What's going on, guys? Bingo here. I'm with the Duel Factory for X2 Drop, our podcast that we do. I don't even want to say semi-regularly now, but hopefully that's going to change. So I'm going to start over.
You didn't sound very natural, my guy.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? Bingo here. I'm with the Duel Factory for another episode of X2 Drop. So it is the end of June in the Yu-Gi-Oh era. We just got the news for a new ban list, and it turns out Engage is enough to get me to get back into the game.
I'm so excited.
So it was like a perfect storm, right? So Engage came back. The really good locals that I found just opened up about 2 weeks ago, and I was planning to check it out anyway. So I'm super excited to be back in the game. I actually went to locals this past weekend, believe it or not. But we'll get into that. So a lot going on in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. I still have a lot of complaints with the game, but I'm sure we'll get into that. Today's topic's pretty broad since it's been a few weeks since we sat down and talked. I just wanted to leave it open so that we could have a good discussion, especially with the ban list and the products coming out, and just kind of see how we feel about the ending format. Do we like where the format's going, and the game overall? So, Joe, you never stopped playing. Just a quick summary, like the past, was it 2 months or 3 months we've had this list? How do you feel like that format was?
So initially, I think it started off well, but then it just kind of like diverged into like everyone was literally just playing the one deck, which was Dragon Link, and it gets pretty stale pretty fast when we do that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But it went from like it felt like a wide open format at first, and then like trap cards just became bad instantly again. Dragon Link was just reigning supreme, and then there were some decks coming out in here like towards the tail end of the format when Lightning Overdrive came out. We got one deck that kind of popped out and started seeing popularity, and I saw it on Dueling Book first, and then I've recently seen take some places was the Adignister deck because it got the Link 1, I think it's called Dark Infant, and it was a really, really cool deck that people have been playing. That started making some headway, but it had a really bad like Tri-Brigade matchup, so it didn't take like a lot of spots. But now, as the format's wrapping up and we're about to start a new one, I don't know if going forward, if the deck's still going to see as much play as it has been seeing. But as of right now, it was nice. Like, what's the phrase I'm looking for? It was refreshing to see another competitive deck that could actually stand up to the format.
Yeah. Outside looking in, it seemed like the format did become pretty stale. Like the list before this one, I don't even remember what it was, but Dragon Link was the deck before that, and it was the deck after that, and it just, when you see formats like that where like a combo deck is kind of reigning supreme, it gets really hard to stay excited about the game personally. So
it would have been different if it was like a triangle format, but it wasn't even like a triangle format, right?
Yeah.
And then we got closer to a 2-deck format, but like Tri-Brigade honestly just couldn't compete, and then people were playing Drytron, and then they were figuring out how to stop it, and like it is what it is.
Yeah. So finally, after I don't know how many lists, everyone's been begging for it, LP took the axe, and there was quite a few other hits, but everybody listening to this, I'm sure, knows what the ban list was. So we'll give our thoughts on what's coming up in the format, as well as what we're going to play and what we're looking forward to. One of the things I'm super looking forward to is hopefully getting announcements for in-person events, or hopefully around October. That's my guess, is when the policy is going to change, but that's just a blind random guess. So, Joe, thoughts on the ban list? Because personally, I think it did pretty well. I didn't have to suffer through anything, so I just don't like Dino being at 3 MISC. Engage, it makes me very happy. LP makes me very happy. So overall, what do you think?
So my thoughts, like the ban list did a lot of things well, but it also did a lot of things very unwell. Obviously, everyone's rejoicing that LP's gone, and then as an added bonus on top of it, Striker Dragon went from 3 to 1 copy.
Yeah, that was nice.
That might have been a little bit overkill for the deck, but whatever, right? It is what it is. Now, from new format testing, seeing it, there is a version of it that's playing like Dragoonity cards and like to facilitate like all the cards that we're missing, and that deck's really cool. But that deck at best has been toned down to a tier 2 deck, which as the format evolves, maybe that changes, but whatever, right? I think everyone's like, as a community, probably favorite list or favorite change other than LP getting banned is Miscellaneous Source going down to 1.
Yeah.
So I personally think it's fantastic because I get sick and tired of the Dino deck anyway.
Yeah, just real thoughts on Dinos. That deck is never it's not like overpowering or frustrating. It's just like you sit down against it, and my immediate reaction is just like that. I just can't stand going up against it. You know, it's not that it was super broken. I'm just happy to see it getting reeled back and like there actually being counterplay involved, and you can stop them much easier.
See, my least favorite thing about the deck is like dealing with OV Miss is probably one of the most frustrating things in the game that we've had in a very long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have so many ways to get to those 2 cards turn 1 is frustrating. Now, whenever I played Dino, I swear I bricked more than anyone else, so that's why like the deck turned me away. But it was one of those decks that like it was necessary because it was like one of the few decks that stood up to dragons and had a really, really good dragon matchup, right? So that's why like we couldn't like phase it out. But now misses at 1, and don't get me wrong, your opponent's still going to have like great access to OV Miss.
Yeah,
definitely. The problem is you have to make the Miscellaneous Source count now because you only have 1. So if it gets like ashed on the to summon Enodor Archosaur, then basically the Dino deck runs out of gas very, very fast.
Yes.
But if it does resolve, it's generally going to be game, and now it's going to be like, so when you play again, because you know there's still going to be Dino players. Like, when they see the one of Misk and it resolves, you're just going to feel super salty because you're going to feel like you got sacked. So, I mean, that's just what it is. With that being said, the scariest part of this guy... Okay, no, actually, no, let's rephrase. Not the scariest part. The part that pisses me off the most is you guys fucking got 1 Engage and I got 0 Colossus.
Yeah, so I don't really know what the logic behind getting an Engage is. I'm happy about it. It might become a problem. We have 3 Kagari, 3 Anchor, 1 Roll. Like the deck is it's going to be very, very good. It's not missing very much, and 1 Engage is just that extra little bit of consistency that you need that can snowball into advantage if it's not dealt with properly. So I'm happy, but I could see the frustration from the community, especially when you have cards like Electromite and Colossus and Harp that were kind of the same era, right? That have just been imprisoned and they're not coming back. Like, Engage was a multiple format defining card, not only just in Sky Striker, but you had Orcus Sky Striker, Trickstar Sky Striker that formed from Engage. And drones, obviously. Yeah, it's really surprising to see it back, but we all know Konami loves this deck for some reason. For no reason. Yeah, it's not like it was a TCG exclusive. It's not like it was Burning Abyss. They just like it.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna be the first to admit it here. When I first saw the list and I saw Engage come off the 1, I was definitely one of the players that was in denial. I'm like, there's no way this card came back to 1, and there's no way this deck's going to be good with just 1 Engage. But,
it is.
As you know, I never stop playing, and all I do, like, on my off time is I just watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitch streamers, I mean, like, theorying and, like, all this fun stuff, right? Watching the deck actually in, like, action against, like, actual new format testing and decks and stuff like that, 1 Engage literally made the difference of a deck going from a rogue contender to a actual tier 1 deck, and it disgusts me that I have to say that. But like it just gets you there. Like the 1 Engage literally gives your deck everything it needed to actually start playing again, because now you rotate cards like so let's talk about what it actually like rotates back into the like metagame, right? Which is more accessibility, two cards like Shark Cannon, which are insane against the Drytron deck, which was untouched, by the way. That's the other deck I think is really good. Your deck now has added consistency because you were talking about it earlier, where you can go get cards like Hercules Base.
Yeah, I mean, it's an extra copy of anything you need at the time, you know, and you can get it back because it's like anyone who plays Sky Striker with 3 Ray, 2 Rose, and 2/3 area 0 know, like, if you don't see your engine, you can't play. And it's another copy of every single part of your engine that you can add back with any part of your engine. Like,
and then like the thing, like it also like in for the Sky Striker deck, like Hayate was already a problem anyway because it was like a pseudo way to get to any of your cards, right?
yeah.
Now cards like that get infinitely more mileage, and you have not only do you have one copy of Engage, but you have access to a lot more stuff than what you had previously before any of these cards came out, right? Like, I don't know if we did, but I'm pretty sure we did. Did we have access to extra deck monsters like Access Code Talker before Engage got banned? I can't remember if we did.
I know I picked up Access Code, but I think it was post-lit. It was either really close, because Access Code came out in April of 2020, I believe, and it was around that time.
I gotcha. You also have access to like other tutors and stuff like that. Cause like I'm sure people are going to experiment with cards like Pot of Prosperity and stuff like that. But so that's besides the point. You have access to an infinitely vast pool of cards that we didn't have access to beforehand before Engage left the format. And it's perfectly positioned because there are so many decks that are graveyard reliant now, such as like the Tri-Brigade deck, which yes, we lost Dryden, which that's another thing we should talk about, but they lost Dryden, but the Zoo build's actually still really good because it just produces monsters. The Drytron deck, obviously, it just plays from the graveyard. Like past turn 1, like you have 4 floating effects in the graveyard. Like that's insane.
Yeah, another thing Engage does well is anyone who's played Sky Striker in the past 6 months knows it can be difficult to deal with your opponent's board and establish multi-role, and Engage can help you do that. Right, because you use your hand, deal with your opponent's board, and then you just need Engage or multi-role to stick for 1 turn. Realistically, like resolve it your end phase, and then hopefully resolve it your opponent's end phase, and at that point you should have so much advantage that it's hard to lose that game. And Engage really helps do that because this past Saturday I was playing pre-list Striker. I didn't establish multi-role once because I had to deal with the threats on board and make sure that I wasn't going to die. And Engage would have just been a free +1 every single turn that lets me invest into the grind game more than not dying.
Yeah, and then you now have that going forward, so that's going to be crazy. But we can look at the opposite end of the spectrum now, right? Whereas a deck like Sky Striker got Engage back, and now let's piggyback to the Salamangreat deck that got Mirage Stalio. But it's not the same power level or like boost that like the deck needed, right?
No, Stalio's good. Don't get us wrong. It just doesn't do the same thing as
not even close. Like, don't get me wrong. I play Salamangreat, or I was there for a little bit. I just started. Before we even started this, I was just playing with Doug for a little bit. Like the Stalio was cool because like it gives me like a better turn 1 play. But the problem with it is like past turn 1, if I'm making it, means I'm not making cards like Access Code Talker, and like I'm not killing my opponent, and that's like why I think the power difference is so like, and it's crazy because both these cards were banned at the same time, and like you would think the power level's there, but it's just like not. So like it's just crazy.
Well, like you said, Stalio locks you into fire monster effects, so all of these new tools that you were just talking about that SS has to play with now, that like I don't even know how long we had Zeke or Rose legal, but we have those, and then we have Access Code, we have the Hulk combo, Celine combo if you want to deal with that. Personally, I don't think it's right, but you have all these things, and Engage doesn't shut you off from those. Salad is a really good deck. It's consistent, but missing Stalio was not the problem it had. It needs. I don't even know. I don't even know what it needs. I just don't know if it has the power anymore to like match.
the big selling point of Salad is the fact that it was so consistent, right? And a lot of people say it, and I am in tendence to agree with them. But that deck is actually better than it's ever been, because now you have access to all of like the utility cards and stuff like that. Because I guess you would consider the nice thing is like it also like affects deck building. So like I think because of the cards back, and I've noticed it with my list too. I'm playing 3 copies of Foxy and 3 copies of Spinny right now just to make my turn 1 like more consistent, so I can actually have access to it. So I have more essentially more open access to cards like Jack Jaguar the entire game, but like that doesn't really do anything for me against like all these powerful decks that we're going up against. But again, we have like Splash Mage, Access Code Talker, Hida because of Sky Strike. Another card that Engage is going to influence is cards like Hida getting rotated back into the format, because every deck is playing Ash Blossom more or less as a hand trap. And then since we're going to see a more prevalent return of like Kagaris and stuff like that, you have a Fire Monster and stuff like that. So it changes deck building and stuff like that too.
Yeah. I don't think Salad's going to break above the Rogue deck status. It's going to be a consideration as it's going around. You know, you got people that love the deck like Bless, and they're going to play it, and some of them are probably going to top some events with it. But I just don't think overall, I don't think it can stand up too well to the decks going around. Like Salad VSS, you know, that's whatever. Those decks are kind of similar. I think that matchup is, I don't know, 50-50, depends on the draw. But against Drytron, Tri-Brigade, I just don't think it can stand up.
Oh, no, not at all. But another one that we could talk about too, and I'm sure you have thoughts on this one, but I'm actually really, really upset that Dryden got banned.
Yeah, I got words. I'll let you say your piece before I jump in.
I can understand, because in 1 copy of Dryden, I don't want to say it's the same power level as a card like Engage. Now I could be wrong with that, but I just don't think it is. But Dryden lets you do a lot of things that you're just not supposed to be able to do in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! For example, having access to that Dryden gave you so many additional extenders and combos you can do in a card like Tri-Brigade Zoo, made your openings more consistent. It also technically, like, this isn't like a broken play, but it gave you, if you're playing the Zoo deck and you have access to Dryden, it gives you more frequent access to cards like Megaclops, which, because of the change in the format, could have made a more like prevalent appearance in the format, because there's not a lot of outs to that card for so many decks, right? But now that card's gone, and then we have the Utopic Future Dragon or something like coming out. You're not gonna. That card's going to be insane, but it's not going to be as insane because access to Dryden's now gone. So I can kind of see that, but like, I don't know. I really like that card being in the format, because I really liked playing like any Zoo variant right now. I thought it was really cool to see that deck like actually be like in the format, and like it wasn't overbearing. Don't get me wrong, and I hate to say this, it was probably the best Mystic Mine deck, because you would just mine your opponent, then Zeus them, and they couldn't do anything about it. Yeah. But like, with it gone, it also takes away from like other rogue strategies that could have made use of the Dryden, because of these new cards coming out, and we're just not going to see that now. So I think it limits the number of decks you can play in a format, and that's how I feel about Dryden going, and it makes me really upset.
Yeah, so I missed the entirety of Dryden being legal. I just couldn't go in person, which is unfortunate, because that's my favorite deck of all time is Zoo. And it didn't feel like Dryden was a problem. You know, it felt like Dryden's a good card. It adds a different depth to certain decks, like you were talking about. But I guess they're trying to future-proof some product coming out down the road, which is fine. But if you want to lower the power level of Tri-Brigade Zoo or just Zoo in general, like, Dryden's your turn 1 play, and it adds a couple extenders. You only have 1. I felt like there's better ways to do it, but my biggest complaint about it being banned again is who the fuck knows when that card's coming back. Like, once it's banned, once it's legal once and it's banned, that card could be on that list for the next couple of years. And that's my biggest frustration with it. I don't think it did anything currently to warrant going back onto the list. And now I just don't know when we're going to get it back.
Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll bring it back later, but like...
Yeah, it's hard to say. You can't cry over spilled milk, but I really wish it didn't go, and I'll leave it at that. What else do we have? Fucking Double Iris goes to 2 for like whatever.
So, one thing I think that like is hilarious with this list, right? So we've talked about what the list addressed, right?
Yeah.
What we haven't talked about is stuff that it didn't address. So, for example, notice my man Alistair and anything involving the Shaddoll deck did not get touched, right? So, one, people are complaining about Alistair anyway, but I don't think anything like needs to happen to that card, but that's just my opinion personally. However, you still have every copy of Doll Fusion. There's every copy of Super Poly, which honestly has like been insane since it's been brought back. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. The card is crazy. You also have nothing happened to the Dogmatica engine, which because of the change in the format, and I've been bitching about this in the Discord if you guys are part of it, but like because of all the changes in the format and why I think it didn't get touched is the fact that all these cards coming back literally I think makes the deck unplayable because there's no way Alistair's ever going to resolve ever again, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just not happening. Yes, your Shaddoll fusions are going to resolve for free, but they're going to have to deal with Widow Anchors,
Shark
Cannons, Tri-Brigade Revolts, Herald of Ultimateness. Like, it's going to have to deal with all that, right?
Yeah.
Now, that being said, the power level of the cards is so insane that I still because of what I've seen in like actual matches, I can't believe that they just didn't touch Shaddoll Fusion at all. Which I'm a huge Shaddoll advocate, so I'm happy that nothing's happening to it. But like, that's crazy to me. I thought for sure my man, educated man's Dante, something would happen to him, but nothing happened.
Yeah. So Shaddoll Invoked has been a good deck ever since the new Shaddoll support, right? It just comes in and out of formats, and it gets new tools like the Dogmatic Engine. It got Super Poly back to 3. And I think the biggest problem with this deck is it frustrates people, not that it's overpowering. Like, it doesn't feel good to go against it sometimes. Like, personally, I have no problems with the deck. You can make an argument that, like, Meltdown with the Shaddoll cards is, like a frustrating interaction, Super Poly as a whole. But, like, I think that deck specifically its power level is pretty dependent on the state of the game. So it's going to be stronger and then it's going to be weaker. Just like March of 2020, it was super strong. And then as the new cards came out and the format progressed, it just phased off without taking any hits. And that's my stance on it. I'm pretty happy it didn't get hit because I love the Invoked engine. If you tell me it's a problem, I'm just like, my mind is blown. But I can see where arguments can be made.
Yeah, to me the craziest part is nothing happened to the Dogmatica engine, which is crazy. But like I get it, and I have like infinite love for cards like Natty or Servant. So like again, I'm happy that nothing happened to it, but I can't believe it didn't get touched at all, because that engine goes in and out of formats. But that's whatever. The another deck that did get touched, but it kind of just phased itself out. And I'm no fan of the deck because I think it's awful anyway. But the Eldritch deck, they didn't touch anything in that engine either.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting to see where the Eldritch engine is going to go, because I feel like Eldritch always has to be paired with something. And on it, I don't know the Eldritch SS matchup. I don't know Eldritch Drytron. I don't know if it's going to be positioned better or worse than it was last time, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. I'm pretty excited for this format, mostly because I get to play my deck again. But
oh well, yeah, you're just gonna have infinite love for your deck. I already knew that. The problem is, it's like you said, it has to be paired with something, but I don't think Eldritch cards have been positioned well for a while, so that's probably why it never got touched. But like Konami like always touches stuff when it's not doing anything anyway, so that just threw me off.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, I didn't solely come back because I saw Engage come back.
He's lying to you, by the way.
The reason I just got more and more standoffish from the game was to get four play sets of 4 cards that I feel like I need to deck build efficiently, it would cost me $1,200. Like, that's just absurd. Like, I love the game and all that. I have no problem forking out money for cardboard, but for 4 cards that are pretty relevant overall and generic, like, that's just like, I'm good, man. But now we got the Lightning Storm reprint coming out. Most likely Droplets in the Megatin. Prosperity's going to stay up there, but and then I don't know about TTT, but at least it's not going to cost as much.
Oh no, but I think that card's going to be crazy in the upcoming format. I'm not 100% sure, but I think because everyone's going to be playing like, I know Striker decks are going to be playing like 12 hand traps, and if the Ignister deck, I really have high hopes for that deck because its engine's so small, it will also play like 12 hand traps. I think that card's actually going to be crazy because that deck you can talents in Ignister, and it can kill you in the same turn. So I think that's where it's going to be like really, really crazy.
Yeah.
You probably won't see it in Striker because Striker can't really kill your opponent, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, no. Like, I've seen talk of talents, and like, I don't know if it has a home in Striker, and I'm trying to be optimistic, but it just is it better than another card that you would rather have?
I don't know. Because like your deck's interesting, like the Striker deck. Like I can't believe I'm saying that, but like
it's
Striker deck plays. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say it's a spell.
Well, that too, but Striker already plays through hand traps very, very well because a lot of hand traps are positioned awkwardly against you. For example, Ash Blossom is probably like the most awkward hand trap against Striker, so we're not even going to get into that. But talents give you extra cards. It can take control of a monster, or it can take hand traps out of your opponent's hand, right? So taking hand traps out of the opposing player when you're playing Striker doesn't seem that appealing because, again, your deck plays so well against hand traps.
Yeah.
2, cards that you would use it to take control of, like, for example, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which I don't think is getting rotated back into the format anytime soon. Your deck can already deal with that card fairly well already because you can make cards like Ningirsu. But it is an additional threat to take that card out of the equation, so it's something to think about there. And then the draw to, like, don't get me wrong, like, your deck does well because it basically outgrinds your opponent in card advantage, and that adds to your advantage. But because there's going to be the popularity of decks like Drytron, people will probably be main decking Droll and Lockbird, and then that's just another card that makes you susceptible to cards like that. So I don't think it's positioned well for that deck specifically, but I think as a whole in the format it'll be positioned well.
Yeah, I just feel like DD Crow might pick up in popularity, or the Grave hand traps, and like those can hurt Sky Striker still, but in order for you to get to the point where you can take that out of your opponent's hand and they can just like chain it anyway if there's a relevant target, I don't know. I don't like it, but I'll mess around with it. But I was talking about Droplets and Lightning Storm, TTT, and Prosperity. Hopefully I can pick up those soon, but I'm not paying over $1,000 for 4 cards or 12 cards.
It only hurts once.
Yeah, I know. But you got any final thoughts? We're wrapping up on time here.
I'm excited for the format. I hope it's going to be as like exciting and like as diverse as I hope it's going to be. Now, obviously, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game, so that doesn't always work out, and we're all a bunch of degenerates, so someone's going to find something broken. But initially starting off, I think it's going to be really good. I hope decks like Ignister do not get rotated out as early as I think they're going to get rotated out, and like I'm excited to play the game. I'm really excited to play the game. And Douglas French has no sauce, so I just wanted to make sure.
You have no sauce. No. Hey.
Yeah, so I know this episode was us just kind of talking about the ban list and the state of the game, which we like to do every once in a while. But if you do want to see more in-depth talk about how we're feeling about the game or our thoughts on certain topics, feel free to check us out same time, same place next week. It should be 8 a.m. iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and a whole bunch of other places, and 10 a.m. on YouTube for the podcast every single Monday, ideally.
Ideally.
And if you enjoy mine and Joe's banter, or you want to put your thoughts into what we talk about, there's a link to the Discord wherever you're watching this. It's in the description. Check it out. Post your ideas. Find people to duel. It's actually there's a decent amount of people in it. It's doing a lot better than I thought it was. If you want to match, feel free to jump in there. If you just want to chill, we do that too. And with that being said, I will see you guys back here next week. Peace out.
Okay, bud.
All right. I am going to record a something I'm going to put at the beginning.
All right.
So just give me like 2 seconds. I'm going to turn off the chat box.
No, you're good.
Hey guys, I'm an idiot. I forgot to hit the record button. Hey, real quick, I forgot to mention it during the intro, but we do have a Discord if you want to talk to us about some topic ideas that you guys have, want to get some duels in. Just feel free to click the link. But with that being said, let's get into the podcast. I like to do it at the beginning because no one ever sticks to the end, you know. All right, we can switch chats. You want to go to general or the cut? All right, who can we watch on DB?
Well, apparently the hero match wrapped up while I was in there. Sage. Who is this? DAC Attack 101 versus Reino de los Duelistas. I don't know, but he's playing Mirrorless Tri Brigade, so I'm with it. But this is pre-ban list, not post-ban list, so I don't see any of the cool stuff.
There's a lot of post-ban list stuff and just advanced unrated.
Yeah, but I've been watching like some of it, but like
Just
it's
quality.
not like no. It's not like when I'm watching like some of the Twitch streamers who are actually like decent at the game and they're actually like playing like real matches, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, this man had Dark Ruler, I'm sick.
It's over.
Is all well, I mean, I'm pretty sure the driver I came into this match as the combo was ending, but I'm pretty oh my god, is he playing tell me he's playing there it is! Connector connecting him to the win. The problem is I'm pretty sure that man has a Tri Brigade Revolt set. So there's no way this Isolde sticks. But one can hope.
Crow.
Damn, you took the Crow away from him too. Well, actually. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. He should take 500, right?
Well, no. So.
Well, he chained the Crow to the
Yeah, so since there's no cards, I don't think either player takes 500. Because I'm pretty sure the ruling with Crow is if you not Crow, but with Dolphin is if you activate it and the player doesn't have any monsters in their hand, no one takes damage.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure. Because they would have had a monster in his hand, but like they were all stronger than the monster that was discarded or something like that. Or, nah, whatever's on the field. Then you would take 500, but there's no like actual cards. That doesn't matter. So he's getting gear freed. Bro, what are you talking about? There's no way you let that there's no way you let that stick. If you have Revolt, you have to activate it. Well, actually, no, he can't Revolt. Hold on. Reasonable dragging lords. I forgot he can do that.
Yeah.
This deck gets a lot better when what's it called? Once we get the new Lyralist stuff. But I don't know if it's the best way to play this deck right now or not. But like, my problem is like the deck's just like all extenders. That's like that's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Tri Brigade cards. I really do. I think they're super cool. But it doesn't seem crazy, like, to deal with, honestly. Like,
Tri Brigade, that's not my favorite thing. Like, it's just a simple deck, but like, it does everything it does well. And like, you could play it so many different ways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they'll be leaning on the Zoo Engine or if they'll find something else, but the Zoo Engine just seems so good still.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, it does, what it does well is it puts Beast Warriors in the graveyard for Revolt. It also puts extra materials in the graveyard for the Tri Brigade monsters. So that's why I think it's still going to be the best build of it. It's just like, I don't know, I kind of really like Tri Brigade with, like, as a pure engine that I've seen people playing it with. But, like, this is bad on my part, but I want to play it with Dogmatica cards because I think like it could, like an Ecclesia can add so much to the deck, but like it doesn't do anything with like the Tri Brigade monsters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just have infinite love for Nadir Servant, and I hate it. I just want to sit there alone. I want to be like, Nadir. Oh, so this man had the extenders.
But
ooh, so now he just gets the Infernoble combo. That's a deck I want to play, but like, oh, this man's playing Axe of Fools? What the fuck is this?
It's probably just equip for Isold. Obviously.
Oh, he's playing the Crusadia. He's playing Arborea as his tuna. Now we go get Halka Fabrics. I still feel like I got juiced on my ultis. I paid 70 a pop for mine. Sick.
For what?
For ulti Halix, I bought a pair of them and I paid 70 a piece for them, and I'm like still sick about it.
Did it go up or down, or you just don't know if it was worth it?
I don't think it was worth it, but I didn't want to take the chance of like someone be like, "Oh, well, I think we're gonna play this card out."
Yeah.
And I wanted them.
It's gonna happen eventually.
But yeah, I just wanted them. Oh wow! Apparently they're 90 a piece now, so that's cool, I guess. And then apparently the regular Ultra from Dual Overload, apparently those are 40. I didn't know that.
Well, I have one of those.
I'm still sad about Union Carrier. Like, I understand it had to go, but like, I just want to play my ABC deck.
Yeah, it was a pretty neat card. Got the render going, fixing the audio. Any idea what you're actually playing next format?
No. Like I said, I want to learn the Adignister deck, but I think it's not going to like be relevant because of Striker being in the format. I want to be wrong on that one, but I'm not 100% sure. I've been playing Tri Brigade, and I think I'm going to continue playing Tri Brigade. I just don't know how good it's going to be.
I don't think it'll be bad. And new formats. It's more about the pilot than the deck. Like at least at locals for the first couple weeks. What's up, games and stuff? Welcome.
I'm definitely gonna make myself learn the Drytron deck. I think that deck's still like too good not to learn, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just be a fucking legend, and I'm just gonna play Dragoonity. Fuck it.
Yeah, you could do that.
Or we could play the best deck. We could play Pendulum.
Play Prank Kids.
That deck's still good.
Yeah.
But like it has a bad Sky Striker matchup.
That it does. But
this is gonna get these cards.
It depends on setup. Like if you draw below average as the SS player and they draw a normal Prank Kids hand, it can be difficult. Because they all tribute for cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to deal with that deck this weekend.
The problem is we'll learn like to play Prank Kids, and then we'll get paired up against like a decent Sky Striker player, and they're just gonna yoink all of our cards, and we're just gonna be pissed the entire time.
I mean, obviously, if you can just Widow Anchor like their normal summon because they didn't draw, what they needed to draw. It's pretty easy.
You know what we might be doing? We might be saying the hell with it, and we might just be playing solid rocks, brother.
Yeah, that is probably the deck core that I want to pick up the most out of everything I don't have. I mean, I think the Adamantipator cards are super cool, and they always have been.
Like, honestly, that deck just got better. And you can still play the Prank Kids version of it, which is just free link material. So like you got that going for you. What
do you think the Prank Kids lineup would be?
Honestly,
like 3 rock, 1 fire.
I think you're better off doing 3 rock, 1 water because the water is level 2, so it works better with the level 2 tuners.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it also makes if you decide to play Dragite, which I think you should be playing, it gives you more access to Dragite. But depending on how big of an emphasis you want to put on the engine, you can play the 3 rock and then one of the other elements, so you have access to Butler. But I don't think the Butler is necessary. So
I feel like you don't play more than 5 Prank Kids cards.
No. I have seen, and this is kind of cool because you still play the bird or Prank Kids Doodle Dodo Do or whatever it's called because it's a win. Yeah, because it's a win, so it gives your Raptite interruption if you want to play it. But it can search any Prank Kid spell or trap. So instead of the fusion spell, I've seen people playing the pranks.
Yeah,
and it just puts your Prank Kids cards back, so it makes your grind game better. So that might be something. So where you could play like 3 rock, a water, and then pranks. And then I think that might be the move, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I think that deck's going to be cool, though. I might learn how to play some solid rocks. Plus, it's like one of the only decks that honestly, like, if you're looking at like decks across the board that I think can effectively play Dragoon, because like, it don't take nothing just to put a Verde on the end of your board, but what else?
Hey, real quick, I forgot to mention it during the intro, but we do have a Discord if you want to talk to us about some topic. If you want to match, feel free to jump in there. If you just want to chill, we do that too. And with that being said, I will see you guys back here. What's up? Sorry, I'm getting the video.
No, you're good. I'm trying to think of the other deck I was thinking about playing, but nothing comes to mind. I'll probably try Salad at least once, but I don't have high hopes for that.
Yeah, I don't know if you commit to card like playing one Sea Archiver and stuff. I saw people playing it like it's fucking Burning Abyss, like just rank 3 extenders, and I'm like, that is not the way.
I don't think it's necessary. I think if you're gonna play it, I think the only changes you need to make is 3 Foxy and 3 Spinny because it gives you just enough access to Mirage Dahlia without diluting your deck with other extenders that don't work with the Stalio itself if you have to use it beforehand. So I think that's just the right amount. But what do I know? Wait, did they play a new list? Yes, they did.
All right, just
Oh, they gotta play Lyrilless. Yeah, if you played the Lyrilless card, that's kind of cool. Can we talk about how we have Diviner of the Heralds and you haven't once talked about Necros?
I'll be honest, I forget that was a card, or that it wasn't a Drytron specific card. But yeah, give me one second.
I am very excited for the agent support. That's gonna be such a cool deck.
Diviner is a pretty cool card.
Yeah, Diviner's a super cool card. It's a tuner. It just sends cards. You can search. Like, bruh.
But I mean, how's it any better than a Jew?
The fact that it's a tuner and it can manipulate its level.
Yeah, but like in Necros, like, does that matter?
I don't know if it does. It's just something to think about.
Because I mean, you're gonna send Herald, right? You're going first. Send Herald. It's level 6. What do you do from there? Because you already used your normal summon.
Oh, well, I'm thinking about it too. I don't know if it matters, but I think you can you can play Natty or Servant in it and actually send Herald to search the Dogmatica Ritual monster. Now, I don't know if that does anything for you, but that's a thought.
Yeah, Dogmatic is an engine I wish I had, but I feel like it's way more expensive than I want to buy it for right now.
The problem is you would buy it and like it's not very good right now in general.
Yeah, and like I know I'm not gonna play it, and there's no regionals like where I want to test a bad deck just to like have fun. So it's really not. It'll probably get a reprint at some point or hit at some point, and I can say, oh, I'm glad I didn't pick that up.
Funny thing is, I got my Natty or Servants before they shot up to like 70, $80 a pop, and I still think I paid too much on them. Because what is it? I paid 50s on mine, I think. But then, like, I'm looking at it right now just because we brought it up. Fucking ultra rare Ecclesias are still $22, which is wild.
Yeah, I was just looking at those.
Fleur de Lis's not too bad. It's like $17.
Fleur de Lis.
Apparently, Starlight Ecclesias, if anyone wants Starlight Ecclesias, apparently they're going for 800 apiece.
Yeah, the Starlight. I'm the one thing I am upset that I did not do is buy Starlight Rose when I should have. Because I said I was going to pick up a set in January, and I just didn't. And now I'm definitely not going to.
You gotta buy that Corvette, bro.
Yeah. Viewing deck, picking 3 cards. Oh, for Lilith. Okay. I was like, what the fuck's going on?
This King's Court kind of sucks.
Well, Lightning Storm reprint's nice, but that is about it. There's some neat cards. I was reading through them with Aaron yesterday. Like, they're cool.
Is it sad? The only card from King's Court I'm actually excited about is fucking Magnet Induction.
No, I mean that's about right. That's the only Magnet support though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna play some Magnet Warriors, boys.
That's the annoying part is that there is only one Magnet support card. It's like just if you're gonna give us support, give us like 2 cards.
Doesn't matter, bro. I'm gonna play it anyway. I'm excited. Bro, I read. I'm like, bro, we got an OKE telly for Magnet Warriors. I'm so down. I think that's what it is. Anyway, hold on.
You think you have to control another a
Yeah, you
Magnet
have to
Warrior?
control it. Yeah, the original level is 4 or lower. Special summon 1 level 4 or lower magnet monster from your deck with a different name than the card you control. Also, for the rest of the turn, this card resolves. Magnet Warrior and Magno Warrior monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
We get a summon and we get a protect with it.
Yeah. Magnet Warriors is one of those decks that I just wish was a little bit better. Just a little bit. It doesn't need to be meta. It doesn't need to be rogue. I just wish it was a little bit easier to play for fun.
Honestly, if they weren't all normal summons, I think the deck would be pretty lit.
Yeah.
Like, none of them have, like, a special summon from, like, this. Like, yeah, they contribute to summon alpha, but, like...
Yeah, if they got, like, if one of them was, like, a Marauding Captain, or if one of them specialed when you normaled, or something like that, like, it'd be a little bit easier to play. Just give us the Link 1 Magnet Warrior. Link 1 solve all your problems.
Chill. I want it, though. I need it.
Did you see what his choices were off Lilith?
I literally looked away for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I have no idea. TT on. He still gets the Herald effect. Yeah, Drytron's a good deck, but I feel like it has struggles post game 1. Or it would if it was like the best deck in the room, you know?
Oh. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna. I don't know the words of the song. I'm just fucking out here.
Yeah, I special summoned Drytron's Ultimateness off Shark Cannon. I was like, man, I'm really happy I play this. Really happy I main deck Lancia. I wasn't. He was just. But it definitely like made him think. I cited fucking 9 traps. I cited 9 traps into my deck 5 times on Saturday, and I didn't see a single one once. I was pretty frustrated. Yeah, because every single game too, they made me go first.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Played.
It's just it's the right play. I did Kaina for game, which made me feel sad. I always hate doing that, especially since it was the most fun games I had all day. It was against Drytron. Our game 1 was 28 minutes. Game 2, he barely got it. But we had, I was in main phase for 3 seconds and time was called, and I had Ray and Espo. Feels bad.
It's alright, bro. Just remember.
My webcam's been off this whole time.
The year's 2021, I still can't summon Colossus. I'm sick.
That is really unfortunate. And that's not Thunder Dragon's fault. That's the fucking Toon Chaos support's fault. Could you imagine having Colossus and all the new Chaos stuff?
Bro.
It helps that LP's banned, but still, I feel Like if you deck build right now Thunder Dragon with everything you have with one Colossus, I'd like to see like how the deck performs.
The problem is if we bring Colossus back, I think it actually cracks the deck. Like that one Colossus changes so much, just like Engage does, but I think it's like a little too much. But I don't know.
Yeah, it cranks the deck up. So like, I don't want to say a 10 because obviously more than one Colossus. Like, if you had 2 Colossus right now, that's just like not fair.
Bro, I was talking about it in my Decatur group chat, and literally all I want to be able to do is summon a Colossus next to a Dragoon. That's all I want to do. And Konami just won't let me have it.
It'll come back eventually.
A floodgate and a negate. That's all I want.
Maybe they're not letting you have it because Dragoon's a card.
I doubt it. I don't think it makes that big of a difference. Like, don't get me wrong, Dragoon's a pain in the ass. But
I definitely think it's the Chaos cards.
probably. I wish the Ogdoadic cards were better.
Those are the snakes, right?
Yeah, they're actually really cool. The one's like a Macrocosmos.
Yeah, I saw somebody playing a version of, I think it was Orcus with those cards in it for some reason yesterday.
Yeah, they're really good at setting up the graveyard for Orchid. It's a really cool archetype, and they're just really cool cards in general. It's just for what they do, like there's other engines that just do it better. Like I don't know. I know if you resolve Snake Rain against your opponent and they don't have a way to stop it, it's just game.
Tri Brigade versus Unknown.
I'm pretty sure the guy playing also playing Tri Brigade.
You know, I don't recognize the name. Tanky.
10. Oh, so we talked about the Bujin support that we got.
I didn't know we got Bujin support.
They got a Rescue Rabbit and something else. They tried, bro. They tried.
Is it in Lightning Overdrive?
It's in Lightning Overdrive. It's a super and a common. Like, it's not very good support, but like, I got excited for like all of 2.6 seconds.
I was excited to see that we actually got the Light Charmer link because that means we're getting a dark, and that's scary.
The dark, if you ever get it, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many good dark monsters. The Light Charmer's kind of cool though. Just right now, it's poorly positioned because like you can't revive Dryton cards with it, which really sucks.
I'm trying to find these fucking Bujin cards. Bujin Mahad something, whatever. Weird Bujin name.
Yeah,
Send one Bujin card from hand, a grave as cost. Special summon this. I mean, that's good, I guess, right? It's an extender plus fodder.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have a lot of discard and not a way to get cards back in hand.
The only reason I brought it up is because I was playing a 2014 format tournament the other night. And just on a whim, I played Bujin, and I felt great because I started off 3-0. Because I played my best matchup 3 times in a row. I played Hat. But then I played Sylvan twice and got bodied. So, there's that.
Is the other card a spell trap or monster?
It's called Bujin Torafun. It's a level 4 Beast Warrior.
I'm just going to sort by A to Z. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's named Bujin Torifun, and that's the rescue rabbit.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, like, it's crazy because it completely changes how you play your deck.
Trade special summon 2 different types. Okay, so you can't summon 2 of the fucking good cards.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, Yamato already has there can only be 1 clause anyway.
Yeah, but wouldn't you... I always forget their fucking names.
There's Yamato, there's Harumi, there's Mikazuchi.
Isn't there another one that's like good on field? Or like...
Yeah, so Mikazuchi, whenever a Bujin card is sent from... So the way that, what is it? Yamato, that's the boss monster. That's the one that searches every turn. And then if you have it paired in so if you have Mikazuchi and Yamato paired on, they're really good. Because Yamato adds and then sends, right? And then Mikazuchi's effect is whenever a Bujin card goes from the hand to the graveyard, it adds a Bujin spell or trap from deck to hand. So you would add off of Yamato, put a piece in the graveyard, and then Mikazuchi would add like reincarnation.
Yeah, so I mean, it sucks that you have to summon 2 different types, but whatever. And it turns... I mean, it's cool. It turns like... what's his nuts into banishing? What's the big one that can attack everything?
Oh, Susanoo?
Yeah. Turns him into Whiptail.
I want the Bujin link to be better. Or be positioned better, I should say. Because I really like that card.
Yeah, I think it's a really good or well-designed card. It just doesn't have a niche right now. Or a meta-relevant niche.
Not at the moment.
Dogmatic Calamity. Alright, interesting.
Look, I'm just putting this out here. If Dryden had to go to 0, why couldn't we get 3 Barrage?
That is a good question. Yeah, just should have just flip-flopped Dryden and Brawl Bowl.
Alright, chill out, bro.
Asking too much?
You're literally... Bro. I'm okay with Dryden. I'm not okay with Brawl Bowl. That card does so much. And, like, I know, like, we're not thinking of all the cards we can search, but there's just such a plethora of cards.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And don't forget, we're TCG players, so we're going to find a way.
Yeah, we're going to find a way to zoo monster equals FTK.